How do you get people who are not interested and have never played before to give it a try?
Hey, Bat Child, I think your question is a good one and very difficult to answer, but I wanted to answer it anyway. So I think, first of all, adults. Adults are probably the hardest ones to get into any kind of RPG or D&D game, but for me, I look at the person and I take their interests. So I had some girls that I game with, but they never really played any kind of RPG before, so I started asking them about their interests. And for example, these girls love to read. So I asked what they were reading, and they said they were reading these romance books about fairies. And I said, well, what did you like about them? And they said stuff like, there was a beautiful world, a fantasy world of fairies and courts and kings and queens and magical powers and adventures. And I was like, okay. So, for example, and I put like a dice on the table, if you walked into a room and you saw like a fairy over here, big, tall, masculine man all dressed in black, and maybe one over here that was all in white, which one would you go to? And they said, oh, definitely, the one in black. So they walked up to the one in black and I said, okay, do you think that person's going to talk to you? I don't know. Roll the dice. And I kind of showed them after a few minutes, okay, they walked up and talked to you. What are you going to say to them? And I gave them choices and kind of just real simple, dumbed it down. And they started to get interested and they said that they would give it a try. Kids, I just make it really, really simple. And as for your spouse or partner, well, that's a tough one. Bribes. But again, I would take the interests. Find something that they like to do. If they like video games, what is it about that video game that they like to do? And kind of draw them in a little bit that way and see if that works. That's my answer to your question. Now I'm going to ask you a question. I struggle with voices for my NPCs. I can't do accents at all. So how do you mix it up? How do you get different voices for your NPCs? Are you really good at accents? I still struggle with all my NPCs, like in the end, sounding the same. What kind of advice can you give me? You listeners too, feel free to add them in the comments. What kind of advice can you give me for NPCs? I want some different voices and I'm really not good at accents. So help me out.